Hello everyone! I'm back today with a card making process using the Yay die from Emily Moore Designs. She has this gorgeous sketch. I love her card sketches because not only do you get like the outside of the sketch, but you also get the inside, which is really cool. So she designs both an outside and an inside, which I think is super duper fun. So this was a card sketch she sent out to all of her email subscribers, and I thought it'd be so much fun to turn it into a shaker. So when you looked at this card sketch, there were those strips of paper, and then they kind of stopped, and there were the tags. We're going to eliminate those tags. We're going to do strips of paper all across our card front, and then I'm going to turn it into a shaker using the brand new Yay die. So I started with some white cardstock and I cut that at 4 by 5 1/4. And now I'm going to take some cardstock from Brutus Monroe. This is the pink lemonade color, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 4 by 5 1/4 as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and go through this 6 by 6 paper pad and choose 6 different patterns to line up or to use across the front of my card base. This is from my stash. This is an older pattern paper pack from Honeybee Stamps. I think it's called Springtime or Spring Lullaby maybe. And then I also have here some Tropic Dream sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I intentionally chose sequins that are in stock because I know I've been using a couple sequin mixes recently that have not been in stock. So these are designed by me and they are in stock, and we are going to use them for our shaker mix today. I'm going to go ahead and take all of my pattern papers and I'm going to cut 1 inch wide strips from all 6 of my patterns. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the measurements on my glassboard mat to find the center of this card front. Once I have the center, I am going to go ahead and put 3 strips on one side and 3 strips on the other. They will overhang both at the bottom and at the edges, but that's okay because once I have them all adhered, I can just trim off the extra. I am adding lots of adhesive to the back of this panel. I want to die cut it, and I want it to die cut cleanly. I don't want the paper to lift because it's not adhered down in that section of the card. So I am fully coating each of these strips with my tape runner. Once I have all of those strips in place, I'm going to go ahead and trim off the edges just with my scissors, and then I'm just going to toss those scraps because they're coated in tape and they have served their purpose. Now I'm going to go ahead and get that Yay die centered. This is the bottom layer of the Yay layered word die. I am going to use some Sizzix tape. This is the least amount of tacky tape you can buy, I swear. Like, it barely holds anything. It'll hold this die, which is what I need it to do, but it will also not catch on the pattern paper and take up the ink or anything else. So in that respect, it is fabulous. But sometimes if you really wanted to hold something down, this is not the tape for you. So I'm not going to use the middle die section. I'm going to use the very largest layer die, and then I'm going to use the Scripty Yay. And then that middle piece, I'm not going to die cut that because we're going to use that as our shaker. So this is a lot of paper, and I wanted a really good clean cut. So I went ahead and put this through my die cut machine 3 or maybe even 4 times. Now, that's because I know that my Anna Griffin Empress Mini, it doesn't have necessarily as much pressure as a larger machine. It's just a small one. So I did put it through quite a few times till I was sure that the die had gone through all of the layers of paper. Emily has designed this die so that you get that fun stitched look, not only in around the inside of the die, but also the outside. So that makes it perfect for shakers. So I am going to use the kind of negative space, but it has those stitched edges. And then the other piece that I die cut out, that came out all as one piece with stitched edging. So I set that aside and I am 100% going to use it again for another project. It turned out beautiful, both pieces. So there's no waste when you use this die as a shaker. You get two pieces that you can then play with and use both the negative and the positive. I am going to go ahead now and I want to do the same trick I did before with my scrapbook layout last week, and I'm going to die cut the top layer of the die of the Yay die with the pink lemonade cardstock and then 3 layers of white cardstock to give it that kind of 3D layered effect. I love how this turned out. I love the dimension and just the fun that you get when you layer word dies up on top of each other to create some more dimension and interest. The next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to realize that I forgot to die cut my exclamation point. Dang it! So I'm going to have to go back and recut all of that. And I decided I was turning off my camera for all of that. Oh boy. Anyway, next is the acetate. So I flipped over the card front where I have die cut the Yay, and I'm going to put a nice layer of wet glue over this entire area. You could also use double-sided adhesive. I'm a wet glue girl. It's what I grab for and reach for, and I really love Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. It is like go-to for me, my go-to adhesive. I know how it functions. I know how it works. I know that it dries completely clear. I know that it holds everything, including my youngest son who broke his headphones and glued them back together with my Nuvo. So now we have our little window here, and next I'm going to go ahead and place the Yay right in the center of that window. And this will be on the card front. And you can see how we eliminated that middle die from the Yay layered die. And now we have an open window for our shaker. My foam tape today is from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and this is what I do for shakers. So I take a large length of the foam tape. I take off both sides of the backer sheet. Now, I use Big Mama foam tape from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and that stuff is super sticky. So this is not going to lose any stick because I'm touching it. But when you take off both sides of the paper, then you can turn and go around corners and really get in there to make your shaker, which is what I wanted to do because I want my shaker mix to just be contained on my window. I don't want the sequins to be able to kind of wander around in those areas where you're not going to see it on my card. I don't want hiding sequins. No hiding sequins. Once I have all of the foam tape applied, I'm going to add my sequins into my window. I don't want a ton. We don't need a lot of sequins. And just be very careful that you're placing those sequins in the center of your window, right? Because we don't want the sequins to get stuck on the foam tape. Then it turns into this whole issue. Don't do that. Been there, done that. Trust me. Then I'm going to go ahead and take that second piece of the pink cardstock and I'm going to pop it into the back. and it's going to fit perfectly. And then our shaker's done. Ah, beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? I love how these Tropic Dream sequins look with the pattern papers that I chose. They're so pretty, and then we can just put them right onto a card base and it'll have a lovely like white border around the edge. Stunning. But wait, remember our card sketch from Emily? It has an outside and an inside. So now we're going to work on that inside piece. For the inside of the card, I'm going to use some of the same patterns, but then I'm going to add a couple new ones in. And I am cutting these strips much thinner. So I'm going to do 6 strips still. Some of them are 1/4 inch and some of them are 1/2 inch. So I cut 3/4 inch and 3 1/2 inch strips. And then on the inside of the card, I am going to go ahead and alternate those strips. And I'm going to make those strips horizontal instead of vertical. So I'm going to do 3/4 inch, then 1/4 inch, then 3/4 inch across the inside of my card. Now let's talk stamps. So in my video last week, using the Yay die, I mentioned that the stamps in Emily's shop were acrylic and that I use them anyway because I think that they're beautiful. Okay, so then Emily contacted me and she was like, actually, they're not acrylic anymore. They're photopolymer. And then she was so super generous and re-sent me her stamp sets from her website, all in photopolymer. I'm so happy. They are gorgeous. So now, if you order them, you're going to get them photopolymer. And apparently, they've been photopolymer for a while. It's just that because I got my stamps like with the first batch, right? Like right at the beginning when she first released them, that was how I ended up with acrylic stamps and not photopolymer. So now they are all photopolymer and they're gorgeous stamps. So I chose 2 sentiments from the graduation and retirement stamp set. I'm stamping them in Sparkling Berry ink from Catherine Pooler. And I'm stamping one that says relax, unwind, and enjoy. And then underneath that, I'm going to snuggle in you did it. So that works. Those 2 sentiments together work perfect with the Yay die. And I can quite literally use this for any kind of congratulations occasion, this card. And I am stamping each of these sentiments twice so I have a really good, crisp, clean image, and they turned out beautiful. I love the little scripty fonts on Emily's sentiment occasions, and I need to make another card for you because we haven't even begun. I haven't even played. I had ordered and purchased a confetti stencil set that I haven't had a chance to play with yet, and also the bow gift card holder, which I use the regular gift card holder all the time. I got to play with that bow. I will leave a link down below to Emily's shop so you can grab the Yay layered word die, take a look at her stamp sets, all the different things she has. And then you can also sign up for a newsletter, which is where I got the sketch from. So that is our shaker card for today. So cute. I love it. I will also link up those beautiful sequins that I used and the foam tape I used to make the shaker card. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Look at how that die cut cuts. I love that it does the stitching detail on the inside and the outside. Awesome. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.